Hello, my name is Jason Luis, member of group number 1, along with Javier Reyes, Ignacio Cervantes, and Kyle Acuna. I hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Our government got the story Robin Hood backwards. Instead of taking from the rich and giving to the needy, they want to take from the needy and give to the rich. Without net neutrality, the poor would be getting poorer and the rich would be getting richer. As college students, extensive research and hours in the library are required in order to fully succeed. Without net neutrality, our pockets are going to be hit really hard when we're trying to just get the required coursework done. We should not be charged for the amount of bandwidth we use or for what sites we visit. Our internet providers should be obligated to provide fair, unbiased, totally access to the World Wide Web. First, we will be discussing the potential problems we face for the future of the internet. Then follow with why internet service providers want to eliminate the Net Neutrality Act, and then conclude with how we can intend to fix the problem. Internet neutrality is required to keep things fair for all web users. We cannot allow the government to pillage our pockets any further.
As of right now, we are allowed to access any website, watch as many videos, play any game, and update our blog, all at a high speed. Whether you're on the internet 24/7 or if you just casually browse daily, all subscribers pay an equal price. However, in recent years, internet service providers have advocated to put an end to that. According to an article written by Barbara Stripling, published January 14, 2014 on www.wired.com, the DC Circuit Court of Appeals just gave commercial companies the authority to block internet traffic, give preferential treatment to specific internet services, and steer internet users away from online content based on their own commercial interests. The recent ruling negatively affects the everyday life of all Americans, but the elimination of net neutrality hits students the hardest. The internet is our primary source of the information we need to complete our projects, essays, homework, and all other required coursework. It's widely understood that good grades require extensive research and diligent studying, but with the elimination of net neutrality, we would not only be forced to sacrifice our time to complete our work, but we would also have to sacrifice more money as well. The internet is going to be a whole different world, and access will vary on how much you decide to spend. Without net neutrality, wealthy customers will be using a totally different web and have much more available to them than that of a poorer customer. Derek Turner, a freelance journalist, in an article on the Huffington Post website, published January 14th of 2014, used a metaphor to describe what the future internet usage may potentially hold. He described the destruction of net neutrality to be like breaking a 2-lane highway into a dirt road and a clean, really well-maintained toll road. Like a toll road, a wealthy customer will be able to access a more useful internet with high speeds, and the rest of us will be forced to take the 10 West at 5 p.m. Online databases, news sites, and useful informational web pages will be restricted to those with money. Now that we have discussed the problem our future internet faces, we will now continue with who is at fault for the dismantling of internet neutrality.
Internet service providers like Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast have argued to be allowed to have flexible pricing and charge based on what sites a customer visits. They are pushing to be able to charge content providers like Amazon and Netflix and to create a special internet fast lane instead of just paying a fair flat rate. In January of 2014, Verizon Wireless really pushed to be allowed to charge as they see appropriate. According to an article by CNN writer James O'Toole published in February of this year, the FCC have borrowed ISPs from unreasonably discriminating against web content. Verizon successfully challenged this regulation on the grounds that so-called net neutrality have overstepped the Commission's legal authority. The dismantling of net neutrality would allow ISPs to favor certain sites and charge more or less according to their preference. Barbara Stripling, in the same article as mentioned before, described that she fears that we are in danger of prioritizing Mickey Mouse and Jennifer Lawrence over William Shakespeare and Teddy Roosevelt. Large content providers will increase their earnings, but this may potentially affect our quality of education. According to AT&T's annual revenue report, the company experienced a 6% growth from 2011 to 2012 in their annual earning, which translates to gaining an additional $3 billion on the top of their regular revenue. When will the wealthy be satisfied with their earnings? With 2012 being one of the most successful years financially, they have continued to push for the ability to charge more for their services in 2013 and 2014. We have now gone over the problems web users face and follow with the cause of that problem. We will now continue with how we intend to solve our dilemma.
The FCC's decision to eliminate net neutrality practically gives ISPs monopolistic power. By allowing providers to charge as much as they see fit, the internet faces a potential takeover of a single provider. Like in any monopoly, with only one business offering a service, they have the opportunity to unfairly charge. Hands off the internet was great policy when the internet was new and is still a great policy today. The FCC should regulate the power of the ISPs and overturn their decision, because with the elimination of net neutrality, we face the problem of a potential internet monopoly rising. Net neutrality is already popular in the mind of FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler. Wheeler aims to set regulations on ISPs that do not face any legal scrutiny. Chairman Wheeler is looking for support, and the FCC is currently taking public comments before they issue their new set of web regulations. You can voice your opinion by either visiting their website at www.fcc.gov or by calling 1-888-CALL-FCC toll-free. Tom Wheeler's motives need numbers to back him, and it is our duty to provide him with those numbers. Despite the January 2014 ruling, Comcast has unofficially agreed to abide by the FCC's 2010 regulations, meaning that they will still apply the concept of net neutrality. Money hoarders cannot be supported. If Comcast is the only ISP that adheres to net neutrality, then Comcast is our new internet provider. By choosing providers like Verizon or AT&T, we are giving money to the wrong people and ultimately making it harder for us to achieve our desired goal. Every comment counts, so does every dollar. In conclusion, the idea that an internet service can charge based on our usage and what sites we visit is outraging. Our internet providers should be obligated to provide fair, unbiased, and total access to the World Wide Web. We first discussed how the elimination of net neutrality negatively affects the everyday American, then followed with why ISPs are the root of our problem, and then concluded with how we can fix things by voicing our opinions and spending our money wisely. Hypothetically speaking, if Verizon decided to charge by the amount of usage prior to this project, then I and the rest of my group would still be the same broke college kids. Without net neutrality regulations and with increasing costs, the World Wide Web won't be so worldwide. And remember, if the net isn't neutral, then our spending will be frugal.